In our previous episode, we covered Emery Malik, the first known licensed black aviator. We now look towards the first black and Native American woman aviator, Bessie Coleman. Like her counterpart female aviator, Amelia Earhart, she left a lasting impression on the aviation world that can still be felt today, almost a century later. Welcome to the Melanated Wings Collection presented by Better Endeavors, LLC. This week's episode, Volume 1, Episode 2. Describing the journey of Bessie Coleman, known as the first black and Native American woman aviator. Bessie Coleman was born on January 26, 1892, in the small town of Atlanta, Texas. Her mother, Susan, was a black maid and her father, George, was a Native American sharecropper. She was one of a dozen siblings. In 1901, the family moved to Waxahachie, Texas. There, Bessie began doing whatever she could do to make extra money, such as picking cotton and washing laundry. By age 18, she began attending the Colored Agricultural and Normal University, now known as Langston University in Langston, Oklahoma. She, unfortunately, would drop out after one semester due to lack of money. At age 23, she moved to Chicago, Illinois to live with her brothers. She attended and completed her education at the Burnham School of Beauty Culture in 1915 to become a manicure professional. However, her brother's service in World War II changed Bessie's perspective on life. Coleman heard stories from her brothers about women both serving as soldiers and flying as aviators in France during the Great War, World War I. Despite the considerable inspiration she received from hearing these tales, becoming an aviator was a great obstacle for Bessie. This was because no flight school accepted her since she was both black and a woman. Eventually, black newspaper publisher Robert Abbott encouraged her to move to France to learn to fly. Coleman heeded this advice and began taking French night classes to just properly fill out the French flight school applications. She was eventually accepted by the Caudron Brothers School of Aviation in Le Courtois, France, 133 miles north of Paris. Queen Bess earned her international pilot's license on June 15, 1921. She returned to America, New York, on August 14, 1922, and spent the remainder of the decade giving speeches and showing films of her flying tricks to churches, theaters, and schools to earn money and encourage others. Coleman refused to speak or perform anywhere that was segregated and/or discriminated against blacks. In both America and Europe, she grew famous as the first black woman to make public flights. She amazed the masses with her loop-the-loops and perfect figure-8 tricks. As she toured the nation, she gave flight lessons and performed free shows to spark interest in aviation for both blacks and women. Bessie luckily survived a major accident in February 1923 when engine failure occurred, leading to a severe crash landing. Coleman would suffer a broken leg, multiple broken ribs, and various cuts on her face. This, however, did not force the Queen to retire, as she was back to flying in 1925. By this time, she was fed up with renting or loaning aircraft and purchased her own JN-4 plane. Bessie went on to name this aircraft Jenny. Her hometown urged her to return and perform for the crowd. Coleman only acknowledged this request under one condition: that there will be no segregated entrances to the show. This was a demonstration of how her skill and fame were bringing equality not only just for herself. Sadly, Coleman passed away on April 30, 1926. This was during a test flight with mechanic William Wills. Wills was flying the aircraft when systems failed and controls were lost. At over 3,000 feet altitude, the plane was turned upside down with Bessie not having her seatbelts on. There, Coleman fell to her death, and Wills fully lost control of the aircraft Jenny and fatally crashed. Bessie Coleman left a massive legacy in her rather short flying career. Ida B. Wells Barnett was the main performance at her funeral in Chicago. Starting in 1931, the Challenger Pilots Association of Chicago, who will be covered on the final episode of this volume, would fly over her grave every year. In 1977, the Bessie Coleman Aviators Club was founded by black pilots. The United States Postal Service created the Bessie Coleman stamp to honor her. Bessie Queen Bess Coleman, continues to inspire both blacks and women today to chase and accomplish their dreams. Has the story of Bessie Coleman left an impact on your life? Is this your first time hearing about her? Leave plenty of comments below. Our next aviator also left for France to receive equality. Eugene Jacques Bullard fought with the French Foreign Legion during World War II and became known as the first black fighter pilot. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications of the next episode's premiere, along with others to come during our first volume. Feel free to visit our website listed in the description below to learn more about our Volume 1 Chronicles. As always, have an uplifting day and stay up.